So in this question, we have to consider the Earth and Moon system. We need to first find the center of mass of this system. So we have the Earth, and we have a much smaller moon. Graph not shown to scale. So what is the center of mass of the Earth-Moon system located? Let's take the radius, let's take the center of the Earth to be the origin. Then we have x equals, we do not consider the x of Earth would just be 0. So we only need to consider the x of Moon. So xcme plus xm mm over me plus mm. This is x, the mass of the Moon is 3.84 times 10 to the 8 meters is a distance between the center of mass of the Moon and the center of the Earth, times the mass of the Moon is 7.35 times 10 to the 22 kilogram. Divided by the total mass is 5.98 times 10 to the 24 kilogram plus 7.35 times 10 to the 22 kilogram. This gives us a total of 4.66 times 10 to the 6 meters. So this is a very small distance. We can see it's even smaller than it's like 4,000 kilometer. So we know that, or you may not know, but the radius of the Earth is actually 4,600 kilometers. So this distance is smaller than the radius of the Earth. So the center of mass of the Earth's moon system is actually it's inside Earth. So this is part A. So it is the center of mass of the Earth's moon system. Part B. This is qualitative. We do not need to do any calculation for this. We just need to explain a little bit. What can you say about the motion of the Earth-Moon system about the Sun and of the Earth and Moon separately about the Sun? What is the motion of the Earth-Moon system about the Sun? We know that so back in chapter 5, when we were talking about circular motions, we know that a center of mass, if we treat both the center of mass of this system and the Sun as point particles, this point particle is orbiting the Sun in a circle, or maybe actually roughly elliptical, but it's doing circular motion around the Sun. But because we were treating Earth and Moon as a point of mass, which is not true, what we are really saying is that it is the center. We're treating the center of mass as a point mass back in chapter 5. So what can we say about the motion of the Earth-Moon system about the Sun? The center of mass is rotating in circular motion around the Sun. So of course, when we observe it, it does not make a huge difference because the center of mass of the Earth-Moon system is still inside the Earth, so it does not make a huge difference. So when we talk about the Earth and Moon separately about the Sun, the Earth is still roughly doing a circular motion around the Sun. But what does differ is the Moon, because the motion of because the center of mass of the Earth-Moon system is kind of far from the Moon, so you really should be treating the motion of the Moon as a superposition of two different motion. One is the center of mass around the Sun, and then the second is the motion of the Moon with respect to the center of mass. Because because the center of mass is roughly within the Earth, we can think of it as the Moon is doing two rotation. It's almost rotating around the Earth, and then at the same time, the Earth is roughly rotating around the Sun. And so the Moon is doing two circular motions simultaneously, one with a smaller radius, with a radius of almost like 3.84 times 10 to the 8 minus 4.6 times 10 to the 6 is the radius that the Moon will be rotating around the Earth. And at the same time, the Earth is rotating around the Sun. So if we actually think of the trajectory of the Moon, it will somehow look something like this. This is a very exaggerated graph, But what I'm just saying is that if sorry, this is the sun. Oh, I may just draw it um, on this graph. So if the Earth is doing this black circular motion, what the moon is doing is it's almost always circular, but occasionally it has these little spirals because it's a superposition of this motion and the motion around the Earth. So yeah, first to answer part B, all you need to so the key point you need to answer in part B is one, you have to say that it's a center of mass that is orbiting around the sun, and you need to say that for Earth and Moon separately, their motion is a superposition of two motion, one's center of mass around the sun, and second is their separate motion with respect to the center of mass. But regarding their separate motion, it will be much more obvious for the Moon than it is for the Earth.